Welcome to Duo Chat with Brittany
and Cynthia, where we talk about drama shows
like Dawson's Creek, One Tree Hill, and more. Hi everyone, I'm Brittany.
And I'm Cynthia.
And today we're talking about Season 1, Episode 10, titled You Gotta Go There to Come Back. Air date January 20th, 2004, and the synopsis is...
After Peyton walked in Lucas with Brooke the last night, they all feel uncomfortable but decide to stay friends. Haley and Peyton even team up to organize live entertainment in Karen's cafe, and because of Nathan's pill disaster, coach cancels basketball practice till further notice. Nathan feels happy again taking things easy with Haley, but Dan decrees they're going to have a good time on the golf weekend he planned with Deb, though she threw him out. Even the boy no escape from worrying about his parents' divorce, in between humiliating golf lessons and his dad's ignorant style, till he walks off showing nobody can be happy with a boy like Dan. Jake shows Lucas why Coach cuts him slack, his 6-month-old baby Jenny, and gets the advice not to keep that secret any longer. So Lucas is asleep in bed, then he wakes up and sits up, and he kind of acted like he suspected someone to be next to him in his small bed.
Yeah, like who?
Mm-hmm. And then he goes into the kitchen. Keith's there. Keith tells him he looks like hell. Lucas says he didn't get much sleep.
And why is that?
It's because Lucas is having to make a tough decision. I wondered if he made the right choice when it comes to, choosing Brooke or Peyton. And Keith, asks what kind of choice, but before Lucas can actually answer, there's a knock on the door.
So when Brooke comes in,
Mm-hmm.
and she says, "Hi, boyfriend."
Yeah.
This shocked me.
Yeah,
I was like,
fast.
wait a minute. Brooke and Lucas are official?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, wasn't it just last night they were just having fun?
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden they're official?
Yeah.
Wow, they move real fast.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the shock factor, was like, huh? And my other thing too, Lucas seems to be having a lot of fun with Brooke in this episode again. Didn't Keith punish him? I thought he was grounded.
Yeah, he
for like weeks because of his tattoo, and Brooke was, like the little troublemaker behind it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so maybe there was a little time jump that they didn't mention.
But it was just like, wait, when did he get this tattoo? I'm so confused.
Was it last episode? No, it was... No. Yeah, it had to be.
It was. It was, because the one before was with the college guy, where Peyton got drugged.
Mm-hmm.
So the tattoo had to be last episode.
Yeah,
So...
Yeah, there is nasty. Episode 10.
So if he had just gotten his tattoo... Okay, so if he just gotten a tattoo, and then Keith grounded him.
Yeah.
Why was Brooke there that night, last night?
Right, so there had been a time jump. I don't know.
Because now it's the morning after. Like, why? He thought he was grounded.
Or maybe she snuck in.
She probably did, but Keith didn't say anything.
I mean, he did stop it.
No.
I told her.
Yeah, but it wasn't like, listen, I told you were grounded.
Yeah, I don't know.
There was none of that. Okay, think if somebody snuck in and you were grounded, Cynthia. Mm-hmm. Your parents would ask. Mm-hmm. It's just weird. I was like, Keith grounded you.
Yeah.
Why are you... I think it's the writing. Okay, remember how negative I was with Dawson's Creek? I gotta be negative with this, right? Mm-hmm. The writing doesn't seem to add up from last episode. I thought he was grounded.
Right.
There should... And especially if you're doing the day after, the night after, whatever it is, it needs to add up. And if a character is grounded, you need to continue that. So, if Brooke was there that night, he should have been punished even further. You don't have people over when you're grounded.
Right.
It doesn't make sense. So yeah, that doesn't make sense. But alright, let's forget he's grounded.
Yeah, so and then Brooke and Lucas are kissing, and Keith's there feeling awkward about it. So it kind of like breaks it up.
But I will say, they are cute together.
Mm-hmm. And then Keith reminds Lucas that his mom is calling at 6, and Lucas says he'll be back home at that time.
So where's he going right after?
I don't know. And then Haley and Nathan are at her house, and
he spent the night.
Oh,
Remember,
yeah.
it's the morning after.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when Nathan says to Haley, it's not about sex with me. I'm looking around. What? What is he talking about?
Right.
Okay, Nathan.
Yeah, I'm like that.
I know this is the new Nathan, but I'm just saying. Coming from Nathan is just kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's just like when Dan talks. You just go, what?
Mm-hmm. And then Dan walks into the cafe with a bouquet of roses for Dad.
Oh my God. First of all, why is he going? It's so annoying. Like, stay out of Karen's cafe, dude. Like, wait for Deb to come out of Karen's cafe before you. I just don't like it. Well, I don't like that he is there without Karen there. It's her place. You know?
Yeah.
Well, he's like the devil. You don't want the devil there when you're not.
Right.
I don't like. I know people might say, well, it's a business. It is a business, but I just don't feel that he should be there.
Yeah, so he just wants to apologize for last night. He says they're both tired and
what's the flowers gonna do?
yeah, no, that seems to be a go-to for a lot of men to apologize to their girlfriends or wives or whatever.
I know, but coming from Dan, it doesn't sound very
genuine.
Yeah. I don't. If anyone else did it, I would be like, oh, that's so sweet. Forgive him. But when Dan shows up with flowers, I'm just like, what's the catch?
Yeah.
Where's the hidden cameras, as he said that one episode? I'm just like, we all get punked because this doesn't exactly add up to a sincere apology.
Yeah, and then he also says he made a reservation at Chatley Resort. Because apparently they went there before, and they had a good time. So he's like wanting to recreate that.
Can I just say, I love Deb in this scene. Oh, she's just so good.
Yeah. Because she puts her foot down with Dan about making things right between him and Nathan.
Well, that's the thing, is that first episode when we meet her, she's just sort of like uptight, doesn't really say much. But now it just seems like every episode, she just is getting more and more strength to say crap to him, and I love it. Like, she's telling the truth, she's being honest. I love this stuff.
Yeah. Yep, so instead of her, Nathan will be going with him.
Well, yeah, and I love how she's like, in order to fix us, you need to, spend time with your son. And I'm like, love you. Oh, and it can't be about basketball and numbers and all of that.
Right.
But Dan cannot do that. He's not the person that can just hang out with his son without it being,
About the game.
Well, yeah, about the game or how bad Nathan is or whatever.
Yeah. And then Lucas and Haley are talking about why him and Peyton doesn't make sense as a couple. Because apparently Peyton says so herself. But then Haley adds that Peyton took it back. And Haley says she's just seen Peyton really try to make an effort to turn things around.
I love how Haley is sticking up for Peyton.
Yeah. Lucas says he's not the bad guy there or here. Peyton's just too hard. And Haley says, unlike Brooke, who understands and is nice and easy.
And he's hey, watch it.
Yeah. Easy to get along with.
But, well, I love Haley and Peyton's friendship. I think that's genuine.
Yeah.
And I just love how, like, even behind Peyton's back, unlike Brooke, Haley is just, trying to be so supportive towards her. Well, that's what you want, is for your friend to talk good about you and not negative. So I just love that. Well, I mean, I kind of feel like that's the real friendship.
And then Lucas just says Brooke makes him laugh, and she's honest and not afraid to be herself, and not covered head to toe in issues. And he asks Haley what's the vibe about that, and she says nothing. If he's happy, she's happy. And then Lucas asks if Haley's happy, and she says yeah. And then that's when Brooke walks up to Peyton, who's doing art on a banner on the ground outside the door, a little walkway at school. And Brooke says where she's been, and says nothing, nowhere really. And then Brooke brings up Lucas. She mentions that Peyton left so quick the other night that, like, what was that all about?
It's kind of weird because like Peyton says, I was just dropping off a CD.
Yeah.
But Brooke was there the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she came out of what, the bathroom?
I guess, maybe.
Or wherever, but it seemed like she could hear everything.
Yeah.
So it couldn't have been a CD because she would have heard that.
Yeah. I don't know.
It was weird. I'm like, that didn't make sense. Brooke would have heard their conversation.
And then Lucas finds Jake sleeping on the ground against a tree. Lucas wakes him up.
Oh, so I love when Lucas says, "Who's the girl?"
Yeah.
And Jake goes, "You don't know her."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because he didn't go to sleep the night before. And
I do love how we're getting more of Jake.
yeah, me too. So the two of them walk over to practice, the gym, and they see the sign that Whitey put up from like last episode of practice being canceled until further notice.
Cynthia.
Yeah.
Did you watch the scene closely?
Like what?
I guess Chad's stand-in is a girl.
Oh, I did not see that.
At first it looked like Brooke is there from an angle with long, her hair color.
Mm-hmm.
But then when it goes back to Lucas, and I'm like, and no one's standing by him, and I'm just like, huh? Yeah, if you play the scene, it looks like it's a female, but then when they go back to his face, it's Chad, and I'm like, so stand-in is a girl. Okay, are you watching it?
Oh, I'm looking at it.
Yeah, watch it. It's pretty entertaining. Because I replayed it and I was like, what?
Okay, so Nathan takes a sign off the door. So I see Lucas with the back of him and Whitey's talking.
Yep, keep your eye on that corner.
Okay. Whitey's telling the guys how they lost track of what the game's supposed to be about.
Because you'll see someone who's wearing a brown coat and there's hair.
Yeah.
Yes, it looks like Brooke's hair.
Yeah.
Yes, but she's not there. But then you go to the other scene or the other clip of Lucas and she's not standing there.
Yeah, she's gone.
Yes, I'm so confused.
Maybe it was something like they did with Reagan and Haley, like they didn't cut Reagan out of the library.
No, but it looks like it's supposed to be Lucas the whole time.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Brooke was supposed to be next to him. Well, what was she wearing though?
I don't know. I'm so confused. I was like, what am I missing? Because didn't she walk away?
Oh yeah, she's wearing the same color jacket, so yeah.
But did she walk away?
No, but I'm saying that maybe
She was supposed to be there?
yeah, and they just didn't reshoot that shot. So maybe she could have walked him to practice, like as a girlfriend thing. And then at the last second, they were like, no, let's just have it be the guys with Whitey. And they, like I said, they just didn't.
Yeah, but when they shoot it, when they do the next clip, or from the other angle, nobody's standing by him. It just, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Because it seems like he's only talking and looking at Lucas.
Mm-hmm.
But then she's there.
Right.
I'm so confused by that clip.
Yeah, like I said, she's probably in it, and then they just decided last second they didn't want her to be, and they just didn't take that shot out or reshoot it. So.
Well, that's dumb.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have long brown hair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was like, why does it look like it's Brooke? But then I guess the stand-in is a girl.
Yeah. Yeah, so Whitey tells the team to take some time to think about why they're really out there. Till then, no practice, and puts the sign back on the door.
I did like how he had to explain it to the boys.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times we wouldn't get that explanation. We would
Right.
just see the sign up at the end, and then the next episode we would just go along with it.
Mm-hmm.
But here he's explaining it to them, so I like that part.
Yeah. And then Jake's relieved because now,
He can go spend time with his daughter.
Yeah. And then even Nathan too thinks that Whitey did him a favor because he can take a break from the game and his dad, at least with basketball.
So, okay, when it comes to Jake, there's just a little red flag I got on his story.
What?
Okay, if he's a teen dad, why is he playing basketball as a hobby?
Yeah, I thought about that too.
Like, he's not working. And
Right.
he's not with his child, and his parents are. It's not his parents' responsibility, it's his responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
So why isn't, okay, it's one thing if he has a job to go to after school. Great, you're making money. But if you are not working, your ass, let's be honest, should be home with your daughter.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is that maybe he's on the basketball team to try to like win a college scholarship.
He ain't that good, clearly. He's not Nathan. They don't say how good he is.
Yeah, so I don't know, maybe he could get into college with a scholarship, so he wouldn't have to worry about that and
Sounds like it's a hobby.
give his money to toward his daughter. I don't know.
They only say Nathan and Lucas are the good ones. They don't say Jake. Jake's just on the team.
Yeah.
And I question it because most parents that are that supportive are not going to just let their child play basketball as a hobby and take care of the child.
Right.
Again, yes, if they're trying to get a scholarship, they might. But they're not going to just be like, I'll take care of the baby. And you just have a life.
Right, yeah.
Unless it's like that one movie. What's it called?
What movie?
Oh, that one. With Danielle, what's her name?
Fisher?
No.
I don't know what Danielle you're talking about.
Oh, what's her name? Panna Baker or something?
Oh, okay.
Is that her last name?
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that one. She had a baby at 15 or 16, and then her mom ended up, her mom said, I'll raise the baby as my own. And,
Oh, I saw that.
oh, well, anyway, unless it's like that movie where like you're like raised as the sibling.
Yeah, I've seen that happen.
Yeah,
And other stuff. Yeah.
that's one thing, but to just let the person just have their own life, I'd be like, sorry, you're responsible.
He says Danielle.
Yeah, but yeah, it's like mom at 16 or something.
Okay. Was it when she was younger? Or?
Well, yeah, when she was a teenager.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, mom at 16, 2005.
Yeah. So unless it's like that movie where the mom or the parents raise it as their own, then obviously then they're responsible.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like Jake is responsible for his daughter. So if he's not working, he's not studying.
Yeah, he says his parents help him too.
Yes, they are while he's at basketball or school. Yeah. But my point is, then I just don't get why they would let him have a hobby.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it was the only way to actually have him on the show because they wouldn't be able to place him anywhere. I mean, they could have, had him be, I don't know, do something with art, but then he'd be close to Peyton, and that'd be a whole nother, as Brooke would say, triangle plus 2 or whatever. So,
but they could have had him do a school project or something with Lucas, and Lucas got too invested in his personal life, and then we met him that way.
Yeah,
and like he was good at basketball, but he had to quit or something to raise his daughter. Mm-hmm. Like it could have been that.
Yeah, I guess I didn't really think about it too much.
I did. I was like, there is no way that he would be able to just play basketball for fun, and then just have his mom and dad raise his kid whenever he feels like being a parent.
Yeah.
Because that just would not happen. Like, my parents always said, like, if I ever was in that position as a teenager, they would help.
That's good.
But there is no way that my parents would be like, you go have a life
Mm-hmm.
and we'll take all the responsibility.
Right.
That's not what they would do. I would either have a job or my job would be to take care of my child
Yeah.
when I got home from school. There is no way that my parents would be like, well, you just go and have fun, Brittany. No.
You know what I feel like my parents would do? Well, they would help too, but I feel like they would want me to get married.
To the first.
Yeah. I'm not about that, but yeah, so that's all I can think of.
So you mean Nathan and Haley?
Basically. I mean, that's what my parents were anyhow, so.
So you'd have to get married at 16?
Yeah, whatever age, yeah.
Wait, they wouldn't wait till you're 18?
No.
They would sign you away?
Yeah, I mean, my mom was 16 when she got married, so.
Oh my god. They'd
It's
sign
more,
you away. Here
it's
you
more
go.
of a religious thing than anything.
Well, I mean, I grew up Catholic,
Yes.
but mine never said you had to get married to the person.
Right. Well, my family is different. Also Catholic, but that's how they feel.
Yeah. That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, mine believe in the person, whoever you're having kids with, you marry, but if you don't choose that person, then what, they're not gonna like disown me.
Right.
But no, mine always just said like, if
Oh,
you
yeah.
ever, even with my brother,
Mm-hmm.
it was always if you're ever in that situation,
Yeah.
they don't want you to give the child up. They would help raise the child.
Mm-hmm.
And, but obviously we would have to be a part of it.
Yeah.
It's not going to be, this is my little sibling. No.
Yeah, like,
Plus, I couldn't do that.
right.
I could never have a child and then, like, I'm just the sibling.
Mm-hmm.
Bullcrap.
Yeah, that's
It came from me.
Yeah, that's been done at least, but I know of once in the show. But yeah, that's what Lorelai was trying to avoid because they wanted her to marry Christopher. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would have been good.
yeah. So the next scene, Lucas finds Peyton, because again, like Brooke, he wants to say he's sorry about the night before, and she said that she was just having a weird long day and probably wasn't making sense. Lucas said she was, but he had no idea she would be dropping by. And then that's when she tells him that him and Brooke make a really good couple and she's happy for him. And that he's a good guy and Brooke is her best friend.
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
About Lucas in the house.
Yeah.
What parent in their right mind lets their teenager have a door to the outside in their bedroom?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about too.
Abso-freaking-lutely not.
Right.
You have to go. You have to go through the front door.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was bad enough that Dawson let Joey, or that his parents let Joey through the window.
Yeah.
It's like, but here it's even worse.
Mm-hmm.
He has a door to the outside on his bedroom.
Yeah.
Like he does. They don't have to walk past his mom's room.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to walk past anything.
Right.
It's just free, and his door always is open.
Yeah.
Here we go, Cynthia. Another show. The door is always open.
Yeah.
But I just don't like it. I'm like, who thought this was a good idea? That he has a bedroom, or his door. He has a door to the outside. I could see if that was like the main or the master.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It could have been, yeah. And maybe Karen wanted Lucas to have the bigger room, maybe. I don't know.
Why would she do? No. This doesn't make sense. You know why? Because of the future.
Yeah, I don't know.
When Peyton wants the master bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
maybe that one comes with the bathroom. I don't know.
Whose?
Karen's.
Well, it must.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I don't get the door.
Yeah, I don't know. Some houses can be designed weird too, so.
But who gives their teenager that room?
I don't. Like I said, they didn't. Details like that, they didn't really think about, I guess.
He's a teenage boy.
And maybe they just wanted, easy access for characters to go visit Lucas, so they wouldn't have to go to the front door. I don't know. and kind of be like Peyton and just kind of show up at a doorway. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. And then at the cafe, Deb says that business seems to have dropped off lately. Haley says it's because of the university, they're on break. And then Haley mentions how Karen had brought up live entertainment to bring people in, an open mic night. And Deb says that's a great idea. And she's going to run it by Lucas first.
Oh, can we go back to Peyton and Brooke for a second?
Yeah.
When Brooke says, though, that she would never cut off her best friend for a guy.
Oh, yeah, no, so you're going to.
Oh, well, I'm just like, what? What are you talking about?
Yeah, like.
You knew Peyton liked him.
Yeah.
And you went after him anyway. What are you talking about?
And there was no assumption that she was going to even cut her out anyhow, so.
Yeah, but I was just like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
You are the person that would.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Deb wants to talk to Lucas about the idea first, because she doesn't want to, I like how she doesn't, want to exclude him from his family's business, even though he's been avoiding the place as well.
Yes, I like that he is giving, because Karen's not there to, okay it.
Yeah.
So I guess the next best option is Lucas.
Yeah.
Even though I don't really think Lucas is a part of, the business aspect, but I do like that he gets permission.
Mm-hmm. And then Haley says that she has a study session with Nathan, so she has to go. And Deb says to Haley that she's happy she's seeing Nathan, and he's lucky to have someone like her. I thought that was really nice for her to say because how
in the future.
Yeah, that too. I was like, with the parents, it's really hard to get their approval. But yeah, so that was just funny how that becomes complete opposite later on down the line.
I know, when she said it, I was just like, ha, that's funny.
Yeah, I guess it was because they weren't married and having a kid, I guess. Maybe that's why, or part of it. But even, I feel like this Deb still want to be like that, so.
Yeah, but I mean, if your son was Nathan.
Yeah.
And he was a lot like his father.
Mm-hmm.
And he's changed a little since meeting this girl.
Mm-hmm.
You would be like, keep dating her, marry her. She seems to make you a better person, so stay with this person. You would encourage it.
Mm-hmm.
And she's not being a broad who's sneaking him out of the house and getting tattoos and drinking. Haley's the good version. So you would want your son with Haley. So I get why Deb said that, and I agree with Deb.
Yeah.
This is who Nathan should be with. A good girl. Because he's the bad boy. Think if he was with Brooke. Think of, when you think of that dynamic, oh, God. It would be bad.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have two of the same person again.
Right.
Could you imagine that couple? They'd be out of control.
Right.
There has to be someone to kind of make them human in a way and actually think before they act.
Yeah. So then Peyton's in her room drawing when Brooke walks in and takes her camera, and Peyton's camera takes a picture of Peyton, who's on her stomach on her bed, facing away from her. And then, because Brooke says she's doing that to document a day without cheer because no basketball practice means no cheerleading because they have nobody to cheer for, I guess.
I have a flag on the play in this one too.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me there's no cheer competition coming up?
I mean, it hasn't been mentioned. Like I said, they don't have a coach. They should have a coach, but it's only Brooke as a captain.
Because I'm pretty sure they have cheer competitions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure they don't just cheer for the basketball team and that's it.
Yeah, or any other team, yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yeah. They just don't have anything for the girls to do, which is sad, for school. Besides go to class.
But that's just stupid to say that there's no cheer practice because of basketball.
Yeah.
There is too.
Yeah, I mean, they could still, I don't know, make up new cheers or something for later on to use.
Mm-hmm. Or keep themselves in shape and stuff so that when basketball comes back, they're not...
no, they're just, not out of shape.
Yeah, or what's the word?
Active. exercise-wise?
No, just when you've been doing something for a while. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, they would still have practice. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Think about our school. They would still have practice.
Yeah.
If like football was on leave, they would still have practice.
Right. And then Brooke says that there's something missing or wrong with the picture that she took. She's not in it. So she gets next to Pam in the bed and they take a selfie together. And then Brooke says that with all this free time that they have, they should do something fun.
I think Brooke needs to kind of calm down on fun.
Yeah, Payne asks about Lucas because she's sure he would be up for some fun. And then Brooke calls Lucas the monkey in the room, so Payne tells her she needs elephant. And Brooke says she came by to make sure there's no weirdness between her and Peyton. And like you said about cutting her out for a guy, like no matter who he is or how happy he makes her.
Oh, there's awkwardness.
Yeah.
Brooke just
doesn't see it.
No.
She doesn't see the monkey in the room. She's looking at the wrong one.
Well, she also can't see that she also couldn't see that Peyton liked Lucas.
Right.
Like truly liked him. Except for the time she said, "Show us how you feel."
Right.
And then she kissed him. It's like you knew that Peyton liked him.
Yeah.
That's just stupid.
Yeah, so Payne says she's going to have her rain check. She just wants to draw. And then this is when Brooke puts her fist out and says, "Hose over bros." So that was the first time we hear that saying from her. I didn't think it was that early in the series.
Me either. I thought it was when she was doing her clothes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so she tells Payne she's going to borrow the camera in case Lucas is feeling frisky. That's too much information for Payne to hear.
Yep, gross. But again, she thinks she doesn't like him.
And then Payne looks at a Polaroid picture of her and Brooke. And then Dan visits Whitey in his office again.
And badgers him about how he canceled basketball.
Mm-hmm. And then,
but I did like when Whitey said, "The game's not fun anymore, Danny."
Right.
Like, I love how he calls him Danny.
Yeah.
Like nobody else does.
I think it's only his parents, isn't it?
I don't know.
I thought
We only saw his parents once. I don't know.
I thought maybe his mom calls him Danny, but yeah. It's funny.
Oh, Keith does. Sometimes he calls him Danny Boy.
Oh, yeah, that's one.
Yeah. I was going to say somebody calls him that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Whitey says that they've both driven Nathan too hard. And,
Danny doesn't think so.
Yeah. And he's like, "So, now you're a doctor?" Yeah, so Whitey says he's taking the steps to ease the pressure off, and he tells Dan he should do the same.
Well, when Dan walks in and says, I mean, you're winning. You're in a winning streak. You've won like every game. It's like, calm. Like, again, it's just always about numbers for him.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say it's really weird to see a coach step back from winning every game.
Yeah.
Normally it gives you more ambition to win. You know, it's just weird to see them step back.
Yeah.
And it's only because of one person on the team, which was Nathan. And Nathan only did it because of his dad.
Yeah, so you would think that Nathan would take the leave of absence.
Yeah, not the team.
Mm.
Like, that's my point.
Yeah,
is
it's not like they were all doing it.
Right. If they were all going nuts and taking drugs, then I could see Whitey being like, "Listen, this is bad, but it's one person on the team.
Yeah.
So why should one person be targeted, or why should the team be targeted for one person's actions?
Right.
That's just wrong."
Yeah, it's kind of like the beginning of the show when they were suspended because of Nathan's actions too. So
it's all about Nathan.
Yeah, all comes back to him.
And also too, like, think if you are trying to get a scholarship, right? Like you were talking about Jake possibly getting a scholarship.
Yeah.
You guys not going and forfeiting the game is not going to make scouts like you. Yeah. They're going to go, "Oh, well, we're taking this person off our list to watch. They're not going to think you are serious about the game.
Right.
And so I don't see that being a win for anyone on the team. And I just think that's wrong of Whitey. Also, I don't feel like that's Whitey's.
Oh.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be like the superintendent or board to be like, this is gone? Like, I thought the stealing of the bus would have like shut down the team, not this. Again, it can't. Like the bus situation was a lot more people than one person taking drugs for one game.
Yeah.
And again, kick that one person off the team. It doesn't make sense to punish them all. You know what I mean? And again, they're on a winning streak. I can't see being like, oh, time to stop. I can't see the school approving that.
Right.
Because again, they want the team to win. Their money comes from that too. So they're going to want the team to still play, no matter what. So punish the one kid, not them all. And as a parent, I wouldn't like that. I would be like, what about that kid? My kid has done nothing wrong.
Right.
Why is mine getting punished? You would probably feel the same way, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it. Again, it's only one person.
And then Nathan gets home and.
Oh, also.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're not playing, right? They should still be in practice because when Whitey decides to put them back in the game, they're going to be out of commission or whatever. Like they're going to be really stale. They're going to need to keep it up. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Think about it. All of a sudden, Whitey says, "Oh, this week we're playing." They're all going to be like, they're all going to suck. He should really keep them practicing. I'm just saying.
Right.
Also, that might be a punishment too. If we're going to keep practice, but guess what? There's no game today or this week. That would be good too. So I do think they should still practice.
Yeah, sure. And then Nathan gets home and he finds out that Dan was taken out for a guy's weekend.
I love how Nathan's like, I didn't agree to this.
Right. And well, first Nathan thinks he's gonna move into the beach house, and Dan tells him no. And Dan tells that his mom cleared it, that they can go. He has his golf clubs in the back of the car already.
Of course he does.
And Nathan tells Dan he can't spring things like this on him. He has plans this weekend. Dan says, he knows.
Yeah, with me.
Yeah. And then Lucas is on the river court with the guys. Mouth is narrating. The other guys play like always. And Brooke pulls up in her car with the pom-poms. Jack asks if Lucas, has his own cheer squad now. Brady says he knows she's not there to cheer for him.
I do like seeing the boys together.
And then Skills asks, since basketball practice is canceled, are they going to see him more often? And Brooke says not if she has anything to say about it. And Skills says that they win the game and Lucas gets the girl. And then the next scene, Deb is at the store when she sees Lucas and Brooke. And Deb calls out, she doesn't see Brooke, she only sees Lucas. And Deb calls out his name. When she recognizes him, he instantly makes sure his body is covering what he's checking out when he hears her voice. Deb tells him she's not playing hooky from the cafe, she just had to pick up something. And then he's like, okay, see you later, but she's still there. She wants to say that she's glad she bumped into him because of the live entertainment at the cafe. She wants to do that and, trying to get his approval. But Lucas is just trying to get out of there as quickly as possible. So he says, great, good.
Well, and then I love how she calls, Lucas, are you okay?
Yeah.
Like such a mom.
Yeah, just not leaving him alone.
It is funny.
Yeah.
Because then what happens?
Because then,
Brooke comes up.
yeah, she pops up with a box of condoms and makes it more awkward by asking him if they should just get both instead.
So I had a weird thing about this.
Yeah,
Like, Lucas is being so weird, right? As if he's holding the condoms.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, why is he being so weird?
I didn't backtrack and see that, yeah.
I was like, because I was like watching, and I was like, it's weird. Does he have the condoms on him? Like, what? And then
Yeah.
Brooke comes up with them. I was like,
Yeah.
why is he being so weird then?
I guess because he knew he was going to have them in a second when she came back. I don't know.
I don't know. It was just, he was acting like he had them the whole time. And I was like, but he didn't. He was just standing there. Like, you can't just play along.
Right. I don't know.
But yeah, I just didn't understand that scene because I was like, why is Lucas acting like that?
Mm.
I mean, I got it once Brooke came up. I think that was more, that's how it should have been. Like, Brooke came in earlier with the condoms because then Deb would have been like, I don't know. I just didn't like how Lucas was being so weird.
Yeah.
When he didn't have them on him.
And then she takes it a step further by holding up a can of whipped cream and says for dessert. And then that's when Lucas glances in Deb's direction, making Brooke turn around to see her.
Yeah, and it's like, oh.
Yeah, like, hi. Now it's Deb's turn to be in a hurry to get out of there. So she's speechless to what she just saw, and she says just excuse her, walks out the store without the coffee filters. So. And then Brooke and Lucas also walk out with their items as well, I guess with the move killed after seeing Deb. And Brooke says, out of all things to stick in her mouth, it had to be her foot. And Lucas asks if Brooke saw the look on Deb's face. Brooke says, yeah, told Judge Judy.
Yeah, I love that. She was total Judge Judy.
Yeah.
I just thought that was funny.
Yeah, which is ridiculous considering who her son is. Lucas points out how Deb is friends with his mom and how Karen might find out about this. And Brooke reminds him that his mom was in New York the next month, so what are the odds that she remembers this? As if she's going to forget to tell Karen that month.
Do you also think, too, that Deb is a little, relieved that Haley is with Nathan?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
She's probably like, thank God Haley would never do this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, because when Brooke says, clearly, because of who her son is, but it's like, I'm sure Deb is thinking, I'm so glad you're not with my son.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Karen has her hands full now.
Yeah. So Dan and Nathan are in the car on their way to the resort when Nathan asks if him and Deb are going to get a divorce.
Well, and apparently he's got his own little plan up his sleeve.
Yeah. But Dan accuses that Deb told Nathan something, but he mentions that she kicked him out of the house, and that's usually the first step. Yeah, so Dan says that things will go back to normal. And Nathan says that his mom doesn't want that. She wants things to be better. And then Dan tells Nathan, he has a great life, a beautiful home.
And a basketball pedigree anyone would die for.
Yeah.
And then Nathan goes, I almost did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But Dan just doesn't hear that.
Right. Yeah, because, Haley calls, so Nathan answers it.
Yeah, but Dan didn't hear a word he said. Because he only hears what he says.
Yeah. Yeah, so Haley's working on the flyers for the live entertainment, and she's, he says that he's gone for 2 hours, and she goes Hollywood on him.
Well, what did you think when Haley says, "Oh, you want to talk to your mom?" And he's like, "No, I'm okay."
Right. Right.
I was like, "Ooh, awkward."
My voice. Yeah, so Nathan looks at his dad and says, no, it's bad timing. He says he'll call her back. And then after hanging up, Deb asks Haley how he's doing for Nathan. She says there is no gunplay or screaming, so she assumes pretty well. And that Nathan says hi. Yeah, so it was sweet of Haley to tell Deb that, that was really thoughtful of her.
Mm-hmm.
It'll make Deb feel better.
Well, I think Haley is liking Deb.
Yeah. I'm losing my voice. Yeah, so that makes Deb feel better because she's probably already missing Nathan.
Oh, and worrying what Dan's doing to him.
Yeah. And then it was funny because Deb looks at the flyers that Haley made.
Oh, these are. And Haley's like, yeah, no, they're terrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's when Haley, we don't see it until she goes out, but when Haley looks out the window, she sees Peyton outside and tells Deb to hang on. She'll fix it. So Haley starts to jet towards the door to not miss Peyton, and on her way out, she says hi and bye to Keith, who was about to go into the cafe. He says, "Nice talking to you." And then,
So, Deb obviously now has to tell Keith
yeah,
what she's on. Do you think she was in the right place when she told him, like, it was her place to tell about Lucas?
I don't know. I mean, it's a big thing for Keith not to know. So,
Well, especially because he's watching.
yeah,
Because I feel like if Karen was there, Deb would probably tell Karen.
yeah, but she's not there, so Keith is.
Yeah, well, he's in charge.
Mm-hmm.
It's on his watch now.
Yeah.
Well, because now whatever Keith does, it's on Keith.
Mm-hmm.
If he doesn't say anything to Lucas, then that's between them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think she did the right thing as an adult.
Right.
Like, she would have told Karen. But I mean, but then Karen said something though.
About at least that they are safe.
She said, mistakes happen. I'm a walking poster for it.
Yeah, as if
Nathan is a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, Deb, you were doing so good.
Yeah.
And then you said Nathan's a mistake. I'm sorry, but when people say stuff like that, when they're like, if they were like young and had a baby or something, and they say, I shouldn't have done that. And it's like,
right.
That child that you love so much wouldn't be here.
Mm-hmm.
I hate when people say that.
Yeah.
Because, or when they say, well, I shouldn't have had kids with you. And it's like, then that child wouldn't be here.
Mm-hmm.
I just hate when people do that because it's like you regret that child. Do you know what I mean? Like, you should have just said maybe you learned from a choice you made, not a mistake.
Right.
The word mistake means I wish I could erase what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it means, Nathan, you would want to erase. And if you had done it over again, you wouldn't have done it, which means he wouldn't have been here. And I don't like that at all because you love Nathan. I mean, do you like when people say that?
No.
I think that's wrong. Again, you could say I made bad choices of like people,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't regret having my child.
Right.
You could say that.
Yeah. I mean, or like maybe just having a kid with Dan.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I wish I could have chosen better of who his father could have been.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't regret my child.
Right.
Because then we would know you still love your child. You just wish he could have a different father.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but to say I am a poster for it,
Yeah.
a walking poster for this mistake,
Mm-hmm.
is terrible. Because I think I don't like it. It just sounds like Nathan's mistake. I think that's why Karen has kind of always somewhat come from this better, where she tries not to be so negative towards Dan because that's who she created Lucas with.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Where Deb saying this, it's like, damn, girl.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just said it without with saying it.
Mm-hmm. And then I was kind of surprised that Keith had to tell Deb who Brooke was.
I know.
Yeah, that Lucas was with.
Bad writing.
Mm-hmm. And like she doesn't know Brooke, you know.
She was at her house.
I mean, like actually would know her like as a person.
But she should know her.
Yeah, just like she should know her face and her name at least. Yeah.
Oh God, she's been to I'm sure every Scott party.
Yeah,
and she's Nathan's ex-girlfriend's best friend.
Yeah.
You know damn well she knows her.
Yeah, and you know, if Deb had gone to the game, she would see Brooke on the cheerleading team. So.
But again, Peyton and Brooke are like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
attached.
Yeah.
And if Nathan was Nathan's dating Peyton for how many years, she would have known her.
Yeah.
She would have been to the house, the pool, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, don't tell me that you don't know her. Whatever.
Yeah.
That's dumb. Karen wouldn't know her, but Deb would.
Yeah.
I know when she said that, when he said, oh, Brooke, and it's like, that's just dumb.
And then, he's worried about, well, he's going to tell Deb about this now, and Deb just...
You mean, well, he's going to tell Karen?
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, Deb says, and just...
So, what do you tell Karen?
Don't let her down. She's 3,000 miles away. She trusts that he can handle this.
Okay, if you were Keith, would you wait to tell Karen till she got back?
No, because that's too long. It's weeks.
I know, but my thing is, if I am 3,000 miles away and I hear this, I'm coming home.
Right, so that's why he doesn't want that to happen.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you don't want her to come home, you got to shut up and wait to tell her and just hope Lucas doesn't do it.
Yeah.
But, like you said, that's a long time. However long.
Yeah.
How many more weeks?
I don't know. Maybe if we skipped his grounding, maybe 4
Didn't they
weeks
say she's coming home in 3 or spend 3 weeks or something? I don't know.
It was 6 weeks total. So.
Yeah, so she's got 3-4 weeks left. It's like,
yeah.
That's a long time to keep that a secret from her.
Yeah, and by then, Brooke could be pregnant. So
exactly. That's the thing is, Karen comes home, Brooke's pregnant. What?
Yeah.
Oh my God! And what's funny is it would not be Karen's fault.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess you could say it's her fault for leaving for 6 weeks.
Yeah, because coming home to your son having a girlfriend's already one thing.
Yeah, but then having a baby.
Yeah.
We're about to have a baby in 8 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wouldn't be so good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like, but again, she comes home and doesn't even, that's what I mean. She'd come out, she'd get the next flight out.
Mm-hmm.
Because she knows what happened to her.
Yeah.
She wouldn't want that to happen to the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
So, and she would know too, Lucas would take care of it because she knows he didn't have one, a father. So, he wouldn't do that. So, she wouldn't want him to feel obligated.
Right. Yeah, so Deb suggests just talking to Lucas. And then...
Well, I think having it come from Keith, the talk, versus having it come from Karen, is, I feel like, much better.
Me too.
I mean, I think that's why fathers and sons should talk.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think sometimes you would worry what the father's going to say.
Right.
Is it going to be like, cool, man, you're ready to talk about this? It's like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Where, I think, just like mothers and daughters, they should be the ones to have that talk. Versus a father and daughter?
Mm-hmm. Unless that's not the only option, but yeah.
Well, I mean, like Peyton. I highly doubt her father said anything.
Right.
Which is probably why she was with Nathan and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think her dad even knows?
Probably not, since he's gone all the time.
Yeah, and because I can't imagine he would agree that Nathan is a good choice.
Yeah, and I'm just surprised that he was able to go for that long, because that would
make her an orphan.
Yeah, well, be illegal because she's a minor to be alone at home like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, unless Brooke's parents are in charge of her.
Yeah, could be.
And they don't give a crap about their own daughter. So. Yeah.
Just with a small town, you think that word would get around that really
to the police.
Yeah, both Peyton and Brooke.
But unless they got a cop like Doug, who's dumb.
Yeah.
What?
No, yeah, I agree.
I'm just saying.
Really.
Or, though, if Brooke's parents are in charge, right? And Brooke clearly comes from a rich family.
Yeah.
The cops are afraid of the rich ones, right? Remember? They let Nathan off because they're afraid of Dan.
Right.
So maybe they just ignore them, the rich ones.
Yeah, probably.
So maybe they ignore Peyton because she's associated with them.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they do know that
Yeah.
she is home alone. So they're like, whatever. We don't want anything to come back to us.
Right.
That might be why. Money scares them
Mm-hmm.
in this small town.
Right. And then Haley ended up missing Peyton before she went to the magazine. So she waits for her to come out. So I wonder how long that was, because she's on a time crunch with the flyers.
Well, given the fact that Keith and Deb were able to talk.
Right.
I think that's why they did that, her come out, because it wouldn't make any sense that we had this whole conversation with Keith and Deb and Haley walked out before that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it would have been like she would have ran into her, talked to her, and then that was it.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that she waited, it made sense.
Right.
I liked, though, that she asked Peyton to sketch out a design. And it was funny because Peyton's like, these are, and Haley right away, I know, bad.
Yeah.
I was like, that's funny.
Mm-hmm.
But I love how Peyton did it. Like, that was just so nice of her.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, she has nothing else to do.
Right. And but I thought it was random how Haley said that it doesn't involve any orphans. Like, did she ask her about orphans before, or
Like, where'd that come from?
yeah, like Nathan makes sense, but like the orphans were just weird, random. Yeah, but it was also funny how Haley asked if Payne can fix them, and she's like, I can burn them.
It's like they're that bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, and she needs them by tomorrow, so it's really cool that Payne could do that at the last, second.
Cynthia, if you told me you could burn them, I'd be like,
right? Yeah,
I would feel so offended.
Yeah, because that reminded me of when we did those little, not flyers, but the little things for our teachers.
We did what?
Remember, we used to make a little design with their name.
Oh yeah.
And you would have me write out their names in like the square bubble font.
Why would I say to you? They're terrible.
No, just because you said that I could do it better or something like that.
Oh, well, so yeah, but I didn't try. Yeah, but see, then if I would have tried and showed you, and then you went, I can burn these, no, I'd be like,
I wouldn't say that.
I would be like, what? Mm-hmm. I tried my hardest.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe because they're not friends. I don't know. Like, we are. I don't know. Like, hearing it from your friend, I just feel like that'd be, like, that's just bad. Yeah. But given that they're not friends, it's okay, I guess. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I wouldn't want somebody to say, I can burn these. I'd be like, she could have said, I can try.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't. That was just mean. And then Haley took it so well.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Right.
I would never want to draw anything again. Would you?
No.
Well, especially coming from the artist herself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then Dan and Nathan arrive at the resort. The man at the front counter tells Dan his room is ready and asks where his wife is. And Dan says there's been a change of plans. It's a guy weekend with his son. And the man mentions that the suite that Dan's requested is a king-size bed. And he can check if there's a double room available.
Did you hear Dan, though?
Yep.
I don't want to give up the view.
Mm-hmm. So he tells the man if he can bring up a cot up to the room for Nathan to sleep on.
Oh, my God. When he said, I can't give up the view, I was like, Dan, like, this is so ridiculous.
Yeah. Because, I guess if he would have said, a full kitchen, all the, expensive luxuries, I think that would make more sense than the view. Because a view is a view. And he's already seen it, technically, too, so.
I mean, to be honest, it depends what your view is.
Yeah, and,
because when I went to Key West,
yeah,
we picked a cheaper room. Mm-hmm. I mean, let's be honest, though, it's still expensive. But we picked the kind of the cheaper one, and it was on the other side of the ocean. So obviously, we didn't get the ocean view. We got the parking lot view. So that's what we got to look at. And so obviously, the other people had the view. of the ocean, which was beautiful. But that's what we paid for, and so that's what we got. But my question is, he wants the view so damn bad. How long is he going to be in the room?
Right.
I mean, if you're golfing all day and then you go out to dinner or something, how much are you really going to be in your hotel to see this view?
Yeah, but that just showed Nathan that, it's not really a guy's weekend if Dan isn't even putting his own son before the view.
But I'm just wondering how, because like when we went to Key West, we were barely in the hotel. We were at the pool at the hotel. It was outside. It was really pretty. It was great. But then at night we went to back to the room, but it wasn't like we were in the hotel the whole time that we needed to see the view. We were exploring.
Right.
So I don't understand why Dan needs the view for one weekend. Isn't it just overnight?
Maybe 2 nights.
But I'm just wondering how long he's going to be in the hotel room for that he needs a view.
Right.
That's just stupid.
Yeah, and then Nathan catches on, saying that this weekend was originally for him and his mom.
So I'm sorry, but I was waiting for the, ew, that's so gross. Because you know what they're going to be doing.
Right.
I'm sorry. When TV shows, it doesn't matter if it's comedy, drama, whatever, and they don't go ew. I'm always like, what is wrong with you? That's just gross.
Yeah, Nathan.
No kid wants to think of that.
Yeah, Nathan's just concerned that, the father-son thing was plan B.
Well, it was.
Yeah, but now he sees that now and Dan says...
And wants out.
Well, Dan says, what difference does it make how or why they got there? The point is they're going to have a good time.
Now with Dan around, he'd better off going by himself.
Yeah.
Nathan should have said, I'll take the extra room.
Right. Dan can pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then Nathan's phone rings again. It's Haley.
Oh my God. And then Dan says, well, she's got you on a short leash.
Yeah, but Nathan tells her it's not a good time.
Hangs up?
Yeah, before she even finished her sentence. Yeah. He says
I don't like that Dan is getting under his skin.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't even talk to her because Dan just said, she's got you on a short leash.
Yeah. And then in Lucas's room, him and Brooke are kissing on his bed in the dark, and the light is turned on by Keith. Lucas and Brooke sit up, and Brooke says, "Hi, Uncle Keith." So already she's calling Lucas boyfriend, and now his uncle.
Keith.
Uncle. Yeah.
Like Haley doesn't even say Uncle Keith.
Right.
She says Keith.
Yeah. So that was weird too.
She's moved right in.
Yeah. So yeah.
Is she gonna call Karen mom next?
Probably. So. But yeah, so they can pick this up some other time because he'd like to have a word with Lucas.
I'm sure he would.
And like Lucas looks at Keith, Keith.
Like, dude, you're ruining the moment.
And like, don't make it go. Like Keith doesn't let Lucas push him. And
I love Keith.
Yeah. For Lucas to tell Brooke good night, and Brooke says she'll just call him later and leaves.
He should have said, dude, you're grounded, remember?
Yeah. Or grounded again.
Yeah, he should be. Hey, that's one way. You're grounded till your mom comes back. No girls, because then there won't be any baby making.
Yeah, he could have done that. Yeah.
I would have. I'd have been so afraid they would have got pregnant.
Yeah, because like
I wouldn't want that on my conscience that happened.
Yeah, because as far as we know, we haven't seen Lucas have a girlfriend before, so. Keith doesn't know like the protocol for girls is, because it was never a topic of discussion until now. So how Karen would feel.
But also, he's never watched him by himself.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Like Karen, if he did have a girlfriend, Karen would have been the one to take control and punish him and put rules. But Keith just seemed like the fun uncle. He wasn't there for punishment and all this and rules. So he doesn't know all of the rules.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, exactly.
it would have been definitely different if Karen was there. I kind of wish she would. Can you imagine what she would have done?
Right. Or if, like, they had smart, like, if this was, like, fast forward to now, like, they would have smartphones and, like, video chats to talk to each other, and she could talk to Lucas face to face and, like, get more of a better picture of what's going on at home, so.
He probably would have ignored her phone call.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what Karen would have done? She would have had a tracker on his phone.
Oh, yeah, that too, yeah.
She would have.
Yeah.
And then when she's gone, she would make sure Keith has the tracker too, so that they'll always know where he is.
Yeah. Yeah, so Lucas says to Keith, like, you know, what do you think you're doing? And Keith says, funny, because I was going to ask you the same thing. And Lucas thinks this is about Deb, you know.
Well, then I did not like when Lucas brings up Nathan. Like, she has no. I feel like he got that from Brooke when Brooke said, "Given who her son is," because then he throws it at Keith and he's like, "Well, given who Deb's son is, like she really shouldn't say anything, and this isn't her business." And Keith is like, "You're not Nathan," and I was just like, "Exactly." But I didn't like the crap he was saying to Keith.
Right.
I was like, that boy needs to get slapped. Ground him, seriously. This is what Lucas needs. Talking back to him? That is your authority for 6 weeks, boy.
Right.
Didn't he tell his mom he'd be a good little boy for the 6 weeks?
Yeah.
This does not sound good to me.
And then Keith mentions how Lucas, you know, couldn't even be home to talk to his mom on the phone tonight. Lucas simply says he forgot.
How do you forget?
I know.
Dude, your mom has been gone. And this is the one time she's calling you, probably for the day? And you're going to miss the call?
Right. Yeah, so Keith just told Karen that Lucas was at the library studying.
Liar.
Yeah, he says the Lucas Scott he knows is better than this, and Lucas says the Keith Scott he knows isn't his mother and not even her boyfriend. So it's
that's what I mean. I was like, dude, shut up.
Yeah. Yeah, so I forgot Lucas said the not even her boyfriend line, because I was shocked to hear him say this again, but the way Keith, like, looked down, like, he was sad and hurt by that comment, too, because it's kind of like a subtle way of saying Keith isn't his dad, since he's not with his mom, even though they did have that father-son episode where they did feel like father and son to each other, you know, that talk that they had. So
and Keith has been there since the day he was born.
Yeah.
So he is the father figure, but yeah, he throws it in his face like, you don't get to tell me what to do. You're not my dad. And it's like, boy, I don't like it, because the old Lucas wouldn't have done that. He wouldn't have said that to Keith.
Right.
But this is what I mean, is Haley is changing Nathan for the better. Brooke is changing Lucas for the worse. And that's why, this is the other thing. You know the people that like Brooke and Lucas? Why?
Right.
Brooke is changing Lucas for the worse. Like, how is that good?
Yeah.
You know why we love Nathan and Haley? Because he changed. Because of her. And it worked. Yeah. This is not good. You know, this is why the people that think they're a great couple. Why? It's not even starting out good.
Yeah.
All this lying and stuff, like, why? It shouldn't be that way. And you shouldn't be supporting it either.
Yeah, so Keith tells him he's wrong, because while he's there, it is his business.
It is.
Yeah. Tells Lucas to look at himself in the mirror and see if the guy staring at him is the kind of person he wants to be.
Yep. And you know what's great is Keith normally, if somebody says something, he normally just lets it go, right? Lets the person say whatever. But this time, Keith, oh my God, he actually said that back. And I was like, he didn't. He stood his ground and he said what he needed to say, even though Lucas just hurt him. And I love that. Well, normally Keith doesn't do that. He lets people walk all over him, but this time he didn't.
Right.
And it is his business for 6 weeks.
And then,
you know what you should have said? You want Deb to come and stay with you for 6 weeks?
Oh, yeah, that would be funny.
That's what I would have said. I'd have been like, that'd have been more funny.
Yeah.
Because she would have really watched you.
Mm-hmm. And then at the resort, Nathan and Dan are playing golf. Dan tells Nathan to watch and learn. He makes a comment on how his ball went further than Nathan's and that he should use the ladies' team next time.
Always comparing.
Right.
Now, I will say, when it comes to like guys on any sport, whatever, yes, usually there's competition.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like Dan usually takes it 10 steps further, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And basically is always saying how Nathan sucks.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, I did like Nathan on the golf field or golf course. I liked that because Dan just keeps criticizing him.
Yeah, and it was nice to see him do something else besides basketball.
I know. I was like, wait a minute. Dan goes to the golf course?
Mm-hmm.
Like normal people?
Yeah.
I will say, I didn't like Dan's outfit.
No, I didn't really notice.
He had like a turtleneck.
Oh, okay.
I didn't like it. I didn't approve. He looked kind of silly.
Yeah. And then Haley is looking through Payne's vinyl record slash collection. I don't remember if they're vinyls or records or probably records, I don't know. But she's looking through them while Payne is working on the flyer. It's one flyer apparently too, not just multiple. I guess they could have made copies, but I didn't realize that until after she handed it back to her. And yeah, so Haley loves Payne's design, and then just then Brooke calls. But Payne doesn't pick up in time, so it goes to voicemail.
Yeah, and then Brooke says, I can see you on the webcam.
Mm-hmm.
And then Haley's like, because she goes, and I can see you too, Tutor girl.
Yeah.
And then Haley's like, what? Now, I think we had this discussion episodes ago, but Peyton keeps it on 24/7 now. Because remember,
Yeah.
I remember when I asked her, I said, does she turn this thing off?
Right.
And apparently she doesn't. She keeps it on 24/7.
Yeah.
That is disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
you want those pervs to watch you?
I know.
Ew. Because remember, I think we had the discussion when Brooke showed her butt to the screen. Remember? Mm-hmm. She had her cheerleading outfit on. And I was like, that thing's on? And yeah, apparently she just keeps it on. I don't like it.
Right.
Like, she's a teenage girl. That is disgusting.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, she's doing a lot of things she shouldn't be doing.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then it's really weird, too, that Brooke has Peyton's webcam.
That Brooke does?
Well, she tunes in.
I guess because it's Payne's website, so it's public.
But she just has it on 24/7 too to watch Peyton because she said, I can see you. I don't get it. So she's just watching Peyton too. Do you know what I mean? Like, why is she looking at it at the same time she's calling her?
I guess just to make sure Payne's home, like a creepy public ring doorbell.
Yeah, that's creepy. That's what I'm saying. This is creepy. Like, even your friend
Mm-hmm.
is watching. Like, what if she was changing?
Right.
And your friend is watching you. Like, that's just.
I guess Payne wouldn't be in front of the camera then, but.
Remember the day that she was taking her shirt off and she threw it on the camera?
Right.
Because Lucas was watching?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought of that. I was like, why is Brooke creeping and watching?
Right.
That's creepy. But again, we're still calling Haley Tutor Girl.
Yeah.
Does Brooke know Haley's name? Probably not.
She probably does, but again, wanted to call it Brooke when she was high, but doesn't remember that. But
I don't think Brooke knows her name. I don't think she cares.
yeah.
Well, she did say she had a makeup with Nathan and Haley.
Oh yeah. So she does.
So I guess she does.
Yeah, she just chooses not to call her that.
Yeah.
And then
Well, how did you like the one Peyton said to Brooke? She goes, well, I'm busy.
Well, she said that she promised to do something, so she'll
Yeah.
call back tonight.
Yeah. And then, Cynthia. She's still on her webcam is still there.
Yeah.
Live. She gets off the phone with Brooke and says, do you need help with that to Haley? I'm like, you just lied to Brooke on your webcam that Brooke is watching. She just saw you lie.
Well, that's what she meant by she has to do something.
I know. But then she asked Haley, do you need help? And Haley said, no, I'm good. And then she was like, no, I can help you. And she goes, okay. And I'm like, Brooke is watching this.
Well, I mean, like, from Brooke's point of view, she can't tell the difference, so. Because I don't think there's any audio going to the webcam, but you only see them talking, so.
No, I think there's audio because she said hi.
I thought that was coming from the phone.
No, it was a webcam. Remember, she said hi, Tudor girl.
And that was the phone voicemail she was talking from. Until.
No, it was on the thing. She said because she was saying that she can see them and stuff.
Right.
I don't know. I just thought it was weird. I was like, you lied to her and then you hung up the phone, and she can still see that you're lying.
I don't know, it's hard to tell. The audio was bad quality, so it could have been the phone or the webcam. It's hard to tell.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like because I feel like with like any cameras, you can mute you or mute the person. So I think Payne has her webcam muted so no one can hear her, but she might be able to hear them. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's public, that shouldn't be an option anyhow, because that'd be too many voices at once. But yeah,
kind of weird.
Yeah, so before they leave, Payne throws a piece of clothing over the webcam. So it's like her way of turning it off instead of actually turning it off before she leaves.
And again, the people can see her leaving?
Well, now after she threw the whatever it was on the camera. And then Lucas passes by Jake's house on his way to the river port because he was wondering if Jake wanted to play ball.
And Jake's like, no, I can't. I have to stay here. And he was like, why? Like, oh, are you, and he said, are you sick? And all this, just prying.
Right.
And then I like when Lucas was like, whatever, dude, like, you don't want to hang with me, whatever, and walks away. And then Jake's like, no, Luke, come here. And then he takes him inside and he shows him baby Jenny.
Yeah. Yeah, so Jake introduces Lucas to his daughter. She's 6 months old, 9 days, and a couple of hours.
The fact that Jake, the father, knows exactly how old she is. You know?
Yeah.
Normally, if you, I think, ask fathers, they'll just say, 6 months.
Right.
They don't actually say the days, the hours. Mothers would.
Right.
Not really fathers.
I mean, I can see some fathers doing that, but yeah.
To the exact minute and stuff. I don't know. It's just kind of weird.
Mostly with fathers like Jake, maybe, yeah.
Well, so Lucas has this conversation with Jake about not hiding her because he knows what it feels like.
Yeah.
I get why Jake's hiding her because he doesn't want the scrutiny from the boys and like the harassment and stuff because teenagers can be mean.
Yeah.
And he knows Nathan and all of them. And I get why he's hiding that. But I don't think Jake is doing it to be mean. Right. I don't even think Jenny will even know that Jake kept her from. You know what I mean? Because by the time he gets out of school, she'll only be a couple years old. Yeah. And then he'll be off to college where he can show everybody his daughter and it won't matter. Where Karen kind of kept, like, this is an ongoing thing for Lucas for the rest of his life, is Dan. Like, they're two different stories. So when Lucas is talking about himself, I'm like, dude, He's only doing it because of the bullies.
Yeah.
That's the way I took it.
Mm-hmm.
Is he knows Nathan, Brooke, and all of them. They won't let it go. He knows that. So he's only doing it for that reason. He's not ashamed of her. Where Dan was and is, and Karen was afraid of, and Karen was ashamed of where Lucas came from.
Right.
Where Jake isn't. So it's like they're two different stories, but as soon as Jake goes off to college, he won't hide his daughter.
Right.
Because he'll be in the real world.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, whatever, Lucas.
Yeah.
But obviously, for show purpose, we now have to have Jake show her to the rest of the cast.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just didn't like where Lucas was putting it as, you're ashamed of your daughter.
Right.
Because he's not. He loves her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I guess it makes sense too that Lucas was the one that actually found out about Jake first, because like
he's
mom,
nosy.
No, just because he was the kid to a teen parent, so he's kind of in the same position that Jake was in, just vice versa. So you can just give his perspective on it. But we go to Haley and Peyton because they're putting up flyers around town. And Haley asks if Peyton is going to see the first live entertainment night. And she says she doesn't know. She wants to, but Haley instantly understands that this is about Lucas and Brooke. And Lucas told Haley about the other night, so that's how she knows.
Well, yeah, like why wouldn't Peyton go? She loves music.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense that she wouldn't go.
And Peyton says it's her own fault. She blew it. The worst part is Brooke is her best friend, and she doesn't have any idea how much this is killing her. And then Peyton says she doesn't know what kind of karmic monster she was in past life, and Haley says she was probably a siren that lured and sailors killed him on the rocks. So this made me think, wasn't it Brooke who told Peyton later on that everyone she loves dies or something when they were in a fight after Lucas and Peyton went behind her back?
Oh.
Because I don't know, just remind me of like foreshadowing that, like Brooke brings like the worst like to people, causes bad things to happen or something. But Haley says she doesn't see Lucas and Brooke as like an epic romance, but Lucas did ask Haley to give him a chance, so she owes him that. And Payne asks Haley what she should do, and Haley says the same thing. So Peyton and Haley both don't think that Lucas and Brooke will last. Which, I mean, is technically true, but for different reasons they think so.
I agree.
Yeah. And then...
Well, especially in the same episode, Keith is telling Lucas, look in the mirror. Are you the person that you want to be?
Right.
And it's like, no. Because Brooke has made him into this different guy who we don't like. And, no, he's not the person that he wants to be, I'm sure, when he thinks about it.
Right.
But he thinks it's all cool and everything right now.
Mm-hmm.
But look at who he could be, Nathan.
Right. And then Nathan and Dan are still playing golf. I know golf takes a while.
18 holes, you know.
It takes a while, but I didn't think that they do more than one scene. But yeah, it's continuing now with Dan making comments on what Nathan's doing wrong. Nathan's over it. Dan tells
I love when he has an outburst.
Yeah, tells a nice try when Nathan thinks about him just in the hole, and he gives him pointers of the stance, and then Nathan swings and almost hits Dan with the ball.
Oh my god, I love that.
Obviously doing it on purpose.
So, when Nathan has his outburst,
yeah,
which I loved, he said, I took drugs for you. And then Dan's like, basically, no son of mine would ever take drugs. I'm like, you didn't hear him, did you? Like, went over your big head. That's all I could think of. I was like, whatever. And then Nathan said, you should just give mom what she wants, a divorce. It was good.
Yeah.
Like, even Nathan knows.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what Deb deserves, and that's what she wants.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, Deb just wants Nathan to be happy, which I think a divorce would make Nathan happy.
Mm-hmm.
I think, too, he knows because then he could go live with his mom. Don't you think?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so then, Dan tells him to watch it, and Nathan says this is just another chance for Dan to pick him apart and show him how much better he is. And then with Nathan's ball now in the water, he tells his dad, there you go, you just kicked my ass, congratulations. It was great, and then starts clapping. And Dan tells him not to make a scene. Yeah, so, Nathan tells Dan that he almost killed himself for him. Dan's confused, so Nathan, like you just said, Nathan points out how Dan said your son, because like it's all about him, or his son,
Mm-hmm.
And then Nathan tells Dan that Deb kicked him out of the house because he's a bully and doesn't give a damn about anything but his own ego. And then Dan tells Nathan to keep his voice down, still, trying to de-escalate the situation. But Nathan keeps going by asking his dad, he should do what is, his mom a favor and give her a divorce.
Yeah, so that. So when Nathan walks away,
Mm-hmm.
I was seeing how Nathan was just clapping.
Yeah.
And then when he walked away, I was like clapping.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I love this. Good job, Nathan.
Yeah. And then Keith goes to visit Whitey at his house this time. So he goes to Whitey's house since he's no longer at his office at the moment, because he's not coaching. And they go on about how Keith was like a bad paper boy because Keith had picked up his newspaper from the sidewalk and stuff like that, like small talk. And Whitey, thinks Keith's there because the town, wants to basically kill him because he says lynching. And he says no firm date has been set yet. And then mentions that, so you're taking a hiatus from coaching. And what he says, extreme times call for extreme measures.
So when they get to talking about Lucas,
Yeah.
I did like, okay, so Whitey was funny. He was like, you could emulate your brother and smother the kid with your own shortcomings.
Right.
I was like, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm. And then Whitey says like he's coached 35 teams. Some of them he cuddled and some of them he yelled at. But each player has to find their own game. And he tells Keith not to worry about Lucas. He's a good kid. He'll find his way back to the main road. And then Peyton is at Thud Magazine when she runs into no other than
Kevin DeGraw.
And she asks if he's playing in town. He says he is. He has a gig at Carolina in an interview.
And didn't she say, like when she asks him if he can come, didn't she say it's like private or something?
Yeah, like small place, yeah. And she says she knows it's beneath him, but she would score so many cool points if people play some songs. And then, so Payne said it's low-key and says Gavin that he might see her there. Or Gavin says he might see her there. And then Lucas is at home and sits down with Keith at the kitchen table. Lucas says he said some real things last night and he wishes he could take them back. He says he obviously sucks at this. He wants to be his friend, but he also wants to do the right thing by Karen. And Lucas says he knows how important this is to Keith, and he doesn't make it easy. And then Keith says that up to a certain point, it's up to him. It's his life. He thinks the best thing he can do is back off and let him live it. And if he needs help, he'll always be there. So I see where Keith wants to take this, but at the same time, I think going just hands off is dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll have a baby soon.
Mm-hmm. And
well, especially not telling Karen.
Right.
Because at least if Karen doesn't come back, then that's on her.
Mm-hmm.
But at least let her make the decision if you're going to be hands off.
Mm-hmm. And then Jake is at home. He finds a piece of paper on the coffee table that Lucas wrote on that says they've got booster chairs, and it's a flyer for the open mic night at the cafe. And then that night, the cafe is packed with people. Haley's happy as she walks around with pictures from people with drinks. And then Peyton walks in. She says those flyers were a complete waste of trees. Haley thanks her for her help again and jokes about how, Payne can grab an apron and help out. And then laughs and tells her to sit wherever and order whatever it's on the house. And then Brooke and Lucas walks in. Wait a minute. Brooks says that the place looks nice, like in the clientele and everything. But that wasn't the first time she went to the cafe.
I was gonna say, did she go there before? She went there with Haley.
Yeah, to go about the date.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just realized I was talking about it. Yeah, so that's another writing error of continuation.
She's never been there. Oh, so this is the place.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first time she's seen it packed like that, but there's no difference really.
No.
So.
No, there was people in the cafe when she was in there. Remember, she said, looked around and said, "Oh, it's only closed to me."
I know. I mean, it's really full this time for the night, but yeah. So they see Payne sitting down at a table by herself, and Brooke goes to sit with her, and then Lucas goes to talk to Deb. So Lucas tells Deb she's doing a great job. His mom would be happy.
But also, if you have any problems, come talk to me first.
Yeah, about what he's doing, yeah. I mean, which I see too, his point, but...
What was she supposed to say?
I know.
He already knows what she's thinking.
Yeah.
What was she supposed to say to him? Like, she barely knows him.
Yeah, he doesn't want her
tattling on.
Yeah, to Keith.
But what she's supposed to say, Lucas?
Yeah, because she would.
What's she supposed to say, Lucas?
Mm-hmm.
Don't be having sex.
Yeah.
Lucas should already know that.
Yeah, because she would tell Karen still, so it doesn't really matter. Whoever's in charge of Lucas, she would tell.
Yeah, so. And she should.
Yeah.
Because again, Lucas already knows what he should and shouldn't be doing. Mm-hmm. So the fact that he's even saying, well, if you have a problem, come and talk to me. I'm like, well, she's not your parent. What is she supposed to say to you?
Right.
Because all you would do is say, you're not my mom.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't make any sense that they would even talk about anything personal like that. Mm-hmm. It's like if she doesn't even have these hard conversations with her own son, why would she have them with you? She would tell the most important people in your life to tell you. I mean, that'd be very awkward, having Deb talk to Lucas about sex.
Right. Yeah.
And pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then what happens if she tells Lucas that she made a mistake, like she did to Keith? Then Lucas would go tell Nathan, and then it would be a whole more drama.
Yep.
I mean, that's not what should happen. I think what happened was the right thing.
Yeah. And then Lucas walks over to Brooke and Payne's table, asking them if he can join them.
Peyton gets up.
Yeah, because she says she was just leaving. Like, she doesn't, want to... She can be fine with, sitting with one of them at a time.
Yeah.
But not together.
But that's because, they're going to be all lovey-dovey.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to see that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and then Brooke goes after her.
Yeah. Brooke asks if Payne's mad at her, and Payne says it's not Brooke, it's her. She thought she was cool with this, but she's not. And then Brooke tells her she doesn't have to feel like a third wheel because that's what Brooke assumes Payne means by that. Of course it's not. And she just says she's her best friend. Lucas gets that. And, Payne says...
Well, at first she was about to say...
Yeah.
But then she says... Yeah. No, I mean, you're right. I don't want to be a third wheel.
Right, yeah. Because it's easier to say instead of, telling her the truth about her feelings, even though technically Brooke already knows her feelings. And then, and Payne just says that she misses Brooke. So Brooke says for her to go back inside and hang out with them.
Because I miss you too. No, you don't. You've been hanging around Lucas. You don't miss Peyton.
Mm-hmm. And then Haley gets on stage to announce that the stage is open to anyone, if they have any hidden talents they want to reveal. Jake says he'll give a shot. Haley is relieved that he volunteered to go up, and he brings his guitar with him.
And his baby?
Yep. And then, but before that, I did spy Drew Seeley in the crowd with him.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, I saw Drew there.
We haven't seen him since the pilot, I believe. Or, no, not the pilot, the beach house party, I mean. So, it's kind of funny how he's, somewhere between a reoccurring character and, a one-time guest. Because he's,
Because he doesn't speak.
Yeah, so it's just kind of weird seeing him because we know who he is and everything, but, yeah.
So they paid him for the one scene.
I know they get paid if they actually talk. So, I mean, they get paid more if they talk.
I was gonna say they get paid if they're just background.
Right. Yeah. That's what I meant. And then Haley introduces Jake to the audience, and when everyone is clapping, this is the first time we see Bevan in the crowd, who I guess might have been a replacement for Teresa as another friend for Brooke, since we haven't seen her for a minute, because Teresa just kind of disappeared and Bevan just came in. And then Jake brings Jenny on stage with him in her car seat. He explains he normally sings to her, but something a friend said convinced him that he should be opening up to a wider audience. And he introduces Jenny to everyone and his whole world to Jenny. And then Haley sits next to Peyton and asks if she's okay, and Peyton nods her head yes. And Peyton gets into watching Jake perform.
Well, yeah, now she has someone else she's interested in.
And then in the kitchen, Haley is about to call Nathan when he walks up behind her and asks if the jerk ever called her back. And then he tells her that, she didn't want to talk to the jerk anyways. And that he's sorry. She's glad he's back. He says he is too. It's like every time he's with Dan, he gets caught up in a riptide. The harder he tries to get out, the harder it is for him to keep drowning. And Haley says he just needs to still steer clear of the water for a little while. And then Deb walks in, and she says she thought, Nathan wasn't coming back until tomorrow. So she asks what happened, because she knows it had to be Dan doing something. And Nathan says that they were keeping score. And Deb tells him she's sorry, she should have known. He says he's
that's true, she should have.
Yeah. And then sure enough, Dan is parked outside the cafe.
Watching.
Yep.
Like a creep.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he dropped Nathan off, but he didn't.
He didn't have to stay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, was he debating about going in or what? So. But then Jake is still performing. Payne is like mesmerized. He finishes performing, everybody claps, and then Peyton walks up to him and asks if he's married to you as a joke. He says no, it's just him and Jenny. And Payne says that Jenny has his eyebrows, which is funny.
He's like, oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
She goes, no, she's adorable.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Well, yeah. And then just then, Gavin DeGraw and his band walks in. Payne thanks him for coming, and, he says he thought he was low-key, but it's still cool.
So when Gavin walks in, you can see Drew Seeley, and Bevan. Bevan looks like she's working there.
Oh, I didn't see that. I just thought she was there to watch.
I was like, is she a waitress? Did they not know who Bevan was in the beginning?
Right. I mean, it's not like she just, transferred to the school because there's no mention of that. So it's like
no, but she could have been how they give people different. They can be like different characters in the same show.
Yeah.
Maybe she was supposed to be like working there this episode, but then all of a sudden she's a cheerleader.
Yeah, because maybe Deb needed the extra help for the night or something, and temporarily hired or help.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of weird. I was like, all right, I'll go with it.
Yeah. So and then afterward, Lucas is walking over to Haley and Nathan and tells Nathan some of the boys, him and his friends are going to go down to the river court. He wants to know if Nathan and the basketball team want to come. Nathan asks why, and Lucas says because it's fun. And he asks Nathan if he remembers that.
No.
Yeah. But I think it was a sweet moment.
Yes, because he's reaching out to Nathan.
Yeah, they both know that Haley and Nathan just smile at each other maybe, they can get along and basketball can be a good thing for him again. And then Deb stands next to Keith as Gavin, the girl, starts performing.
I don't want to be.
Yeah, the theme song of the show. And then as the song continues to play, the guys are at the room. So, the song plays, but
everybody's doing their own thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, Gavin's technically done performing because soon enough, everybody ends up there, even though the song's still playing.
I love that the song was playing.
Yeah,
I like how they did it.
Yeah, so Brooke and Peyton are sitting on the hood of her car.
With baby Jenny.
Yeah, in the middle, as Jake plays. And then the ball rolls over to the sidelines where Peyton picks up the ball and Jake goes over to retrieve it. She tosses the ball to him, and Brooke takes a picture of Jake with the Polaroid camera and says this answers the gay question, I guess, from before at the basketball dinner party thing that I guess she remembered about, even though she was drunk. So then Haley takes the camera now and takes a picture of Brooke, Peyton, and Jenny. The guys continue to play. Nathan is actually having fun with a smile on his face. And then in the parking lot of the Riverport, in a car, Keith and Whitey are watching the guys play. Keith says that they've come a long way since the last time that they were there. And Whitey says it makes you wonder where they're all headed. But as people who have seen the show, we know where they're headed. But for them, it's just a distant future. And then Dan walks into the cafe and he asks Deb if it was a busy night. Deb asks what happened today, at the resort.
Oh my God. When he said about Nathan, he flipped out on the 18th hole. It was embarrassing. I was like, and you're not?
Right.
And what drove him to be embarrassing? You!
Yeah. She asks if he backed him into it. Dan just looks at her. Deb says, that he has a problem. He's competitive and controlling and needs help. Dan asks since when did she become Mother of the Year. Last he knew, she was out of sight half the month and out of mind the rest. She says she's right. She has a lot of catching up to do with Nathan, but at least she's trying to help. Him, on the other hand, she just wants him to, she wants him to see a therapist. They go as a family. Dan says forget it. Deb says it's not a negotiation. He gets some help or he's not going to see Nathan. And then Dan asks, does she really think she can stop him from seeing his own son? And Deb tells him, try her. He walks out of the cafe and she throws a towel down. So that was the end of the episode.
Yep.
So highs and lows?
So my high was on Nathan. I have two. One of my highs is when Nathan had his little outburst. Because I loved it because he was telling Dan exactly what he needed to hear, even though I don't think he really heard it. Right. It was just good.
Yeah.
And then my other one was when Gavin DeGraw performed.
Yeah, there were a lot of good moments. I like those as well, along with...
Oh, I also liked when everybody got together at the end on the river court.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, along with seeing Nathan having fun playing basketball for once and Deb putting her foot down for Dan and putting boundaries with Nathan and his well-being and about going to therapy and getting some help.
And then my low was when Dan told Nathan that Haley has him on a leash. And also, I didn't like when Lucas was being rude to Keith, basically saying, you're not my dad.
Yeah, I don't like that moment between Lucas and Keith either. And also when Nathan found out that the getaway for the weekend was actually originally for Dan and Deb and not just him and Dan. So you could tell, because he thought Dan was, Dan was trying to be, a father for once.
A human?
Yeah, just completely what he usually does. Dan just is always about himself and apparently the view there, so.
And then I would rate this 7.5. I liked it.
Yeah, I'd say 7.5 too.
All right, and then your best and worst?
The worst is Dan. There's a lot of Dans in this series. And then the best is Peyton, just because she helped Haley with the flyers for the cafe. And just like swallowing her feelings about Lucas and letting Brooke be with him,
Mm-hmm.
And yours?
So for me, I picked the worst was Dan. And then for me, I picked the best was Haley. Because it was Haley's idea to do the open mic to get more business for Karen. So she's helping Karen. Yeah. She was helping Deb. And she was being really nice to Deb about the whole Nathan situation.
Right.
And she was trying to get Peyton involved because she knew Peyton was hurting. And she was sticking up for Peyton to Lucas. So just overall, I liked Haley in this episode. And then what's the next episode?
Episode 11, The Living Years.
Ooh. All right. Thanks for listening.
Yep, I'm going to see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Duo Chat. If you want to chime in with your opinion about the episode and the show we discussed, you can email us at duochatpodcast@gmail.com. And to keep up with updates about the podcast, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube at Duo Chat Podcast. And give us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We would appreciate it.